Signore, benvenuti, via la Mexico. Main Event Podcast.
Well, thank you for that, Ricardo. Welcome, guys and girls, to episode 1 of the WWE Podcast.
Welcome.
I'm Raza, and joining me on the panel, as always, are Imran and Arif. How you doing, fellas?
I'm okay. I'm absolutely excited. I'm buzzing for this.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm looking forward to it. Episode 1 of wrestling.
Yep.
Just like we did in our football podcast earlier this week, we want to thank those who have helped spread the word and are continuing to support us. We truly are appreciative, and we hope you will continue to support us throughout this exciting journey. All three of us are thrilled with the amount of hits and downloads we have had so
Over
far.
250.
Yep, and we want to see that number increase as more and more episodes are released. So a massive
251. Fingers crossed.
A massive thank you to everyone who have assisted us. You know exactly who you are. You can keep up to date with all the happenings here at the Main Event Podcast. You can like our Facebook page, the Main Event Podcast, or tweet us at TME Podcast.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, for all the latest news and information, as well as updates surrounding future content. Also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment or two. If you're listening to us through Podomatic, then all the information is in the sidebar on your left. And also, please download our podcast on iTunes, which should be up and running relatively soon. Tonight, guys, we have some great stuff lined up for you in episode 1 of the WWE Podcast. We have our very first SmackDown and Raw 5-point reviews. We bring you some of the latest news over the past week or so. And as usual, Arif takes his place in the hot seat. He's going to enlighten us all with his theory of the week. Also tonight, we have our very first Beat the Buzz around. More details on that as the show goes on. Plenty of other features too, so please stick around. Now, enough of me, thank goodness, and let's take it to Imran, who will bring us our very first SmackDown 5-point review.
Yep, and SmackDown kicked off with The Miz TV opening the show. Big Show, Dolph Ziggler were the guests, only for Triple H to come out and punish the trio for speaking out against him. Now, Miz was put in a match against Randy Orton, and Dolph Ziggler was forced to face all 3 members of the Shield. Now, RVD defeated Mr. Money in the Bank, Damien Sandow, in what was a good match. RVD still has it, still compete at the top level, and Alberto Del Rio came out, and guess what he said, guys? Yep, you've got it. He said he will still be the champion.
Oh, still be the champion.
Yep.
I think there's just some lag, but it's alright.
Now, the Shield came out, and they absolutely destroyed Dolph Ziggler in the match, in the handicap match, with a powerbomb straight into the corner, a spear, and then, a triple powerbomb.
Looked really good.
Big Show was on commentary, and he couldn't do anything. He was taunted at, but he could not do anything because he would have got fired. Now, Heyman came out and cut a great promo, as he always does, and he hyped up Night of Champions. Now, the night ended with Daniel Bryan defeating Ryback by interference as a WWE champion. Randy Orton came out. Bryan actually got Randy Orton into the yes lock, but surprise, surprise, the Shield came out to help Orton, who beat him down. Big Show came running out, but Triple H ordered the Shield to hurt Bryan and ordered Big Show to leave. Orton got out a spray can and sprayed no on Bryan's chest, ending the night.
What would you give it out of 5? The entire show?
Entire show? I would give it like a 3.5.
Very average.
I'd agree as well. It's just recycled, isn't it?
Yeah.
It always is these days. So even with Raw, and I'll move on to Raw right now with my 7-point Raw review because I like to change things up over here on Raw. The opening promo is strong, but it's basically a repeat of last week. Like I really thought I was watching last week's show. Highlights include Randy Orton using our word association game, showing that he must have been the other subscriber on YouTube. He must be, apart from us, it must be Randy Orton. Triple H tells Bryan that he shouldn't be mad at the new corporation, but rather should be mad at the Big Show. And his inability to help Bryan last week, even though he has an ironclad contract. Now the main point I wanted to bring up though, was the backstage segment that came up afterwards. Cody Rhodes tells Triple H and Randy Orton that Daniel Bryan versus Orton is best for business at Night of Champions. So then Triple H puts Rhodes in a match against Randy Orton later on Raw. And if Cody doesn't win, then he's fired?
Yep, there's a bit of news on that later on, so we will get into that a bit more.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fine. So later on in the night, Orton does actually beat Rhodes. Spoilers! Triple H then comes out, tells him that he respects Rhodes, and fires him. And then we see Rhodes leaving. But more on that a little bit later. Number 2, Los Matadores promo number 3. There were 2 men who were so brave, so fast, and so fearless. Many said they must have the blood of the bulls on their veins. Soon, Los Matadores and their legendary foe arrive in the new world. Ole! Any guesses on who will play the bull, guys?
You've got this Mexican wrestler they've said they have signed.
Yep, I agree. Hornswoggle. We get another Los Matadores promo later on with basically the same stuff rehashed. Now, point number 3, we found out that Big Show is completely flat out broke. What? Like, is this real? Or is he actually, like,
I think
completely broke?
I just think it's part of the storyline. They wouldn't have let us guys know that he is really broke. So.
Fair enough.
I don't think he's broke. He's not.
Fair enough. I did like it, though, when Stephanie McMahon said, "What are you going to be, the world's largest gas attendant?" Either way, Big Show is forced to face Daniel Bryan in the main event. Big Show's acting is actually quite amazing in this segment, and I think that's the one point that we can take away from Raw throughout this whole show. The acting in this was really well done. He made it believable, and although it's crazy to think that a 7'2", 500-pound giant can be disarming with a teary face, he actually was. Point number 4, Dolph Ziggler versus an unknown opponent, and then we get Dean Ambrose attacking him from behind, so we think that Ambrose is an unknown opponent, even to the commentators. But then Ryback comes out. And I think, Raza, you were saying earlier that you thought that he was there for the save.
Yeah, I thought it was for the save, and then it just hit me. With Ryback's facial expressions, he's not going to save anyone.
Yeah, he's there with his new outfit, no longer airbrushed Ryback.
Yep.
And then we get my favourite moment of the night, which was an amazing promo from JBL at the commentary booth, where he verbally berates Michael Cole for thinking that Ambrose is part of a conspiracy theory with the corporation. My God, Michael, are you seeing black helicopters? More conspiracy theories. The Easter Bunny's real. Area 51 has aliens, Michael. O'Garland has the Night Temple treasure, Michael. That was one of my favourite parts of Raw. I mean, JBL on commentary can be stupid at times with he's cashing it in, he's cashing it in, but in general, he's really, really good.
Yeah.
Point number 5. This was one of the only times that I didn't actually skip through the WWE Rewind. It featured AJ Lee's pipe bomb. Then we get AJ on the announce team, and I'm not going to lie, I was listening to her more than I was watching the stuff in the ring. I don't know how I used one sense more than the other, but I really did. And I have no idea who was wrestling. I have no idea, but AJ ends the match early. Yeah, and the Divas get the upper hand as the crowd boos. The crowd boos the other women. AJ's the face in this. AJ's the Dolph Ziggler. AJ's the CM Punk in this.
Speaking the truth, though, wasn't she last week?
She really was. She really was. She really is the only diva worth watching these days, and that's sad to think because we've got people like Natalia in there. But hey, point number 6: Cody Rhodes again. His final promo about the Rhodes family, about the American dream. If you can, and Gold Dust. Cody just shows how talented he really is with his facial expressions, with his acting, with everything. He is really the total package, and he's come out of this Damien Sandow feud smelling of roses. And the final segment, guys, is Big Show versus Daniel Bryan. Show hits a huge spear on Bryan, but then hesitates to hit him with the KO punch. Triple H and the Shield involve themselves. The Shield beat down Bryan, whilst the game reminds Big Show that he shouldn't get involved again. The Shield then triple powerbombs Bryan, while Big Show stands there completely helpless. Again, amazing acting by Show, because as soon as the triple powerbomb was hit, he just broke down.
Yep.
Triple H tells Show to punch Bryan. Show refuses and walks out of the ring. Stephanie comes out, reminds Big Show to think about his family, and that this is his last chance. They return to the ring, and there's one final swerve, tease, that's done, where Show turns his fist towards Triple H. Stephanie stops it once again, though, before Show connects with the punch to Daniel Bryan. Big Show cries, joins the corporation.
Maybe. you were saying earlier, maybe against his own will.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think the only issue I have with this, props to Big Show. He was really, really, really good on the night. But it's just one of those things with him. It's frustrating because one week he's a face and the next week he's a heel. It just continues to change. And sometimes you forget whether you cheer or boo for him. So now if he does turn into, now he's a face. Who knows, within 2 months he'll be back to the heel he was. The other disappointing thing is most of the Raw was recycled from something we saw last week, which is a big problem for me anyway. Again, it's going to be obvious what happens. For me, I do think Daniel Bryan will become WWE Champion. But Arif, what would you give this Raw out of 5?
Big Show, obviously a man of many hats, which is surprising because his head is so large. I would give this Raw a 3 out of 10. It's a standard Raw that we get in between pay-per-views. I'm hoping next week's will be better, and then obviously Night of Champions will be the best.
Imran, what would you give this Raw?
I would have to agree, but I must say, I've actually been enjoying them a lot more recently than I have, early on this year. I actually don't know why. Yeah, the storylines, there's something strange about them. They're just extremely slow-burning storylines.
If you take the Big Show out of this week's Raw, I think this Raw would be what you've seen 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah. I think Big Show was probably the main factor in this.
Even last week, it was basically the same thing, but with the Big Show interjected in it. And it's good for a slow burn, but is it too slow?
Yeah, it's feeling like that. It's feeling too slow. There's no real progression in the storyline. There's no real hype. There's no real build. We don't know where it's leading up to, which is a bit frustrating for me.
Well, we'll get on to where it leads up to in my theory of the week later on, guys, which could be a little surprise. May involve a former wrestler who turned up in TNA recently.
Yep.
Kevin Nash.
we will wait in anticipation for your theory.
Kevin Nash.
Time for some WWE news.
Big sexy.
A number of interesting stories to get through
the
today.
Impact Zone.
Obviously, by the time this episode reaches you, you may or may not have heard what is going on. Arif, any other interruptions before I begin?
No, please carry on.
Oh yeah.
So let's start with some interesting stories. First with Cody Rhodes, something Arif hit on a little earlier. We saw Monday Night Raw last night. Cody lost to Randy Orton and ultimately lost his job in the process. The latest news on Cody Rhodes after Raw is that he is indeed getting married to his girlfriend, former WWE diva Brandy Reed. I think we knew her as Eden Styles. So that means he will be off WWE TV for his wedding and his honeymoon.
Correction, you knew her as Eden Styles. I didn't know.
Yeah. But he will be brought back into storylines in a few weeks. With the angle last night involving Triple H and Randy Orton, I think it is safe to assume that Rhodes could be involved in some big plans upon his return.
Maybe a Survivor Series match, 5-on-5.
Maybe, who knows. Still, it was interesting, but an injury occurred last night. I don't know if you noticed. In the match versus Fandango versus The Miz, Fandango legitimately took a shot to the face and has broke his nose.
Yeah, it was quite bad. It was really bloody. Yeah. He had to go to the doctor.
Hey, as long as he can still do his Foot Locker commercials, then we don't really mind.
Yeah. We saw advertised last night, Edge will be appearing on Raw next week. Raw takes place in Ontario. I think my assumption is he will be involved in this corporate storyline. I think The Shield or Triple H might have something to say with him there, but we will see next week.
I think I know him.
Yeah. The WWE held a tryout camp at its new performance center in Orlando on Wednesday and Thursday of last week. Joey Mercury, William Regal and Bill DeMott were the judges to decide who performed well. Reports are suggesting former Ring of Honor talents Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. They were the standout wrestlers. Imran probably knows this a bit more than I do, but we should expect them in NXT in the near future if they do make any more progress. During the main event match between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, The Shield, Dolph Ziggler, RVD, and Mark Henry last week, Mark Henry injured himself. It looks like he tweaked his hamstring or his leg on the way down, and he was very slow getting into the ring. He was limping in the run-ins as well. The severity of Henry's injury is unknown at this time, but the WWE have issued a statement saying he is going through an MRI, which will determine the severity of his injury. Guys, it looks like Henry could be missing some more time.
That's what you do.
Some plans now for Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which takes place after Battleground. A rematch between Kane and Bray Wyatt will most likely take place at this event.
No.
The plan is for Kane to return after Night of Champions.
No.
and continue his feud with Wyatt.
He should become a member of the Wyatt family.
After that, who knows? Furthermore, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan is penciled in for the next few months. WWE are planning on carrying on this feud throughout the fall, having both men face off at Night of Champions, Battleground, and Hell in a Cell. The plan is to have Randy Orton in the WWE title picture up until the 2014 Royal Rumble. So it might not be as obvious as we are expecting. Daniel Bryan may not walk out as champion at Night of Champions. You may have heard, Ted DiBiase is officially no longer a WWE superstar. He chose not to resign. He just allowed his contract to run down. So best of luck to him in whatever he chooses to do next.
Future endeavours.
Something Imran probably is interested in a lot more than we are. A few NXT superstars have undergone name changes. NXT superstar Sami Callihan, he has been given the name Solomon Crow. In addition to that name change, Australian NXT star Matt Silver will wrestle under the name Buddy Murphy. Ryan Drago will now be known as Simon Gotch. And interesting, Samurai Del Sol, he will now be known as Kalisto. So keep an eye out for those guys if you are an NXT fan. Sticking with NXT, Cassius Ohno, he's not been used on TV tapings recently. The reason for that is, obviously, officials are keeping him off TV until he focuses on getting his body into better shape. NXT officials aren't happy with Ohno's lack of focus on the conditioning aspect of his training. Finally, this was something I found a little interesting. I didn't know this was happening. Kane has officially said he will not be running for Senate in 2014. I did not know that. It was reported he may be interested, but now he has officially confirmed he will not be running. So that is your news for this week. Be sure to check back next week for more headlines.
Right, guys, and let's get straight into our next segment, which is called Who Am I? Now, I'm going to...
Imran.
Yep. Yeah, that's who I am. Got a superstar in mind. I'm going to pretend to be him. I'm going to talk about his career so far. Give you a bit of clues, and whoever shouts out the name of the superstar wins. Right? Are you ready for this?
We're ready. We're ready.
Yeah.
Rosa, just do me a favour. Just mute your microphone, and we'll carry on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go, Imran.
Right. This wrestler started out in TNA, went to Ring of Honor, and finally landed into WWE.
Daniel Bryan.
Nope.
CM Punk.
No. Now, he made his debut at ECW and was thrown into helping Kofi Kingston feud against then champion Shelton Benjamin.
Daniel Bryan.
No. At Cyber Sunday, he was chosen by the fans to face off against Matt Hardy for the ECW Championship, which he didn't win. So he's a fan favourite.
That guy with the thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You know the guy.
I know, yeah. That's my answer.
John Morrison.
Nope. Now, he made his WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania 26 in a Money in the Bank match, which he lost, and Jack Swagger won.
Finley.
Nope. He won his tag team championship with Kofi Kingston, returning against Dolph Ziggler, nope, and Jack Swagger, but lost to Epico and Primo.
Evan Bourne.
Oh, Evan Bourne.
Evan Bourne.
Oh man.
Evan Bourne.
He was in TNA. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Matt Sydal.
Yeah, he actually went everywhere. Yeah.
Airborne.
Yep.
I won that because my microphone was muted. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, Arif.
1-0 to me in the Guess the Wrestler segment.
Yep.
And what a perfect time after my win on the debut show to move on to the theory of the week and my theory for WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Yep.
Ready.
Brace yourselves. My theory for week 1 involves the WWE and World title matches at WrestleMania. Now let me cast your minds back, guys, to WrestleMania 20, and more specifically the final scenes of the pay-per-view. We saw Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, two of the best wrestlers at the time who were well known for being held down by management because of their sizes. They were both holding up the World title and the WWE titles at the end of the show. It was emotional, and though both of those superstars have left this world due to different circumstances that we're not going to get into here, I can see parallels in two wrestlers today on the current roster. Can anyone guess who they are?
Daniel Bryan.
Bryan has to be one.
Yeah, Bryan won, and what was that, Imran, you had it?
CM Punk.
Yep, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. So my theory of the week is this. I predict that at WrestleMania 30, we will see CM Punk versus the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, Dolph Ziggler, in a match that's like Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, where CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight title. And then we get Daniel Bryan versus John Cena and Randy Orton, the two biggest stars in the WWE, arguably, in a triple threat match for the WWE title, where both Punk and Bryan win, leading to them both celebrating in the ring at the end of the show with the confetti and with the fireworks and the celebrations and your JBLs at ringside and your Mike Tenay just signed for WWE. Mike Tenay at WrestleMania. And then we get CM Punk hitting Daniel Bryan with the GTS, because we know he doesn't want the world title. He wants the WWE title. And we finally get a unification. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That is very, very bold prediction.
It's very specific as well.
Very specific.
Like Busted, I have been to the year 3000.
Yeah, okay.
Not much has changed, but Punk is the champion.
As in, I kind of agree, but my only issue is with the World Heavyweight Championship. Honestly, I think by that time, someone like Cody Rhodes will be in that title picture. I can see Bryan, Punk, Orton, Cena, all these guys fighting for the WWE. I would think the mid-carders or hitting the main event, like your Zigglers, your Rhodes, your Sandals, I think they'll be the ones battling out for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I like your prediction. Very bold, very specific.
And the best thing about it is we'll never know if it's true until WrestleMania, so for now we have to assume it is.
Yep, I can see why you said unification, because like the World Heavyweight title, it's being kind of forgotten. They've not been really building up any storyline that's significant.
It's more of a mid-card title right now, isn't it?
Yeah, now it is, yeah.
You know, when you look at it like a couple of months back even, you know, it used to be the title for SmackDown, but no, WWE title is now also the title for SmackDown.
Yeah.
You know, so I see, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Enjoy it, guys. My theory of the week. I'll be here next week with my theory again.
Yep, listeners, if you do agree or disagree with Ice's theory, please let us know in the comments. Let us know how wrong he is, and we will be sure to read out some of your own WrestleMania predictions.
But saying that, don't you think John Cena or Randy Orton will be involved with the corporate storyline somehow?
Yeah, I think Randy Orton will be. And John Cena will be returning. He will have won the Royal Rumble match, and then Bryan is the underdog. He finally gets a rematch, and Bryan wins it. The perfect go-home show for WrestleMania 30, 10 years after WrestleMania 20.
Yeah, but I also see, personally me, Vince coming back as a face, teaming up with John Cena, and possibly losing. I actually see him losing the control of his company.
So that's the way it has been going for a while. Whatever happens, the best way to write Vince off screen is to have Triple H in a power struggle storyline.
And what better time to have it than at WrestleMania with Triple H versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in Vince McMahon's corner. There's another prediction. It's free. It's Prediction City. Michael, it's Prediction City, Michael.
But now we're going to move on to a new segment of mine. It's called Beat the Buzzer. We're going to have the first ever Beat the Buzzer. Now I've got 6 topics or questions, and I'm going to have you two discussing it. You've got 6 minutes, 30 seconds each about each topic storyline, and I want 2 sides of the same story, okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I've got the timer ready. You're going to hear a buzzer at the end of the 1 minute, right?
At the end of the 30 seconds or the end of the 1 minute?
Okay, at the end of 30 seconds.
Okay,
more work.
let's do it.
Yep.
6 buzzers, Michael.
Right. Now, Raza, I want you telling me why the Divas division has improved, and Arif, I want you telling me why it hasn't.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, Raza, go.
I think the Divas division has improved because of one person only, that is AJ Lee. What we saw last week, she spoke the truth. It's a good thing she got Divas title on her. She's actually making the Divas division relevant again. If you take AJ Lee out of the picture, you probably will be seeing somebody like Caitlyn as champion, who's probably not as gifted as AJ Lee is in the ring. But yeah, I think he has improved simply because of AJ Lee.
Right. You've got 1, 2. Now,
Let me stop you right there, Raza. Slightly later than I wanted to. But let me cast your mind back to when Lita and Trish Stratus were in the WWE. We had people like Victoria, Mickie James. Wrestling was good then for the Divas. Right now, we have the Bella Twins and the Funkadactyls. And yeah, fair enough, we have Natalya. What's she doing? Nothing. We have Layla. What's she doing? Nothing. AJ is the only relevant diva, but you can't have a division centered around one wrestler.
Now, guys, I want Arif to tell me why it's a good thing with Edge returning next week, and Raza, I want you to tell me why we don't need him. So, are you ready?
Yeah. Ready.
Go.
So, Edge is good because he gets a lot of face pops. He can get a lot of heel. He can basically do anything in the ring. It's a good thing that he's returning, though, specifically because he can interject himself into any storyline and make it seem relevant. So if the corporate storyline is getting a bit stale, then he can come in and make a big difference to it. I personally see him coming into something with Christian, though, and reminding Christian that he needs to be this bigger...
With me, I think you do not need Edge. It's a way of promoting the show he's in.
You don't need Edge.
Yeah, I don't think you need him. They're just going to be promoting the show. Other than that, there's no real reasoning to have him there. Fair enough, he could be with Christian, but do you really need him? No. I think you'd rather use your current talent who you're not using. Why not elevate them a little more? Why bring back someone who has retired, someone who will just get you those viewers? I think it's a cheap way of doing it. It'd be good to see him. But really, you do not need him there simply to promote wherever.
Yeah, use current talent like The Miz. Anyway.
We're moving on. Now, we're going to see a couple of returns soon. Raza, I want you to tell me the best way Sheamus could return. And Arif, I want you to tell me the best way Cody Rhodes could return. Are you ready, guys? Go.
Yeah, I think the best way for Sheamus to return would be something we all want to see. Heel. I think he works best as a heel. Maybe I doubt that he will join the corporation. Maybe against a face world champion probably work best for him. A face turn, again, it'll be stale. I think we all know his best work was as a heel when he first came to WWE, when he attacked Cena, when he fought Triple H, everything like that. As a heel, I think everyone would prefer to see Sheamus week in, week out.
Cody Rhodes needs to return by kicking Miz in the head, giving him a concussion, and making Miz retire. The only way that Miz... And I know you weren't asking about Miz, but the only way that Miz could leave is through Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes gets the title of the irrelevant killer instead of the legend killer, and it elevates him into mediocrity because he took out the Miz and no one really cares.
Couple of seconds.
I've already buzzed myself.
Yep. Now we're going to move on. Ever since John Cena has not been on Raw, for me it's been a bit more enjoyable. It's been something different. And I want Raza to tell me why we don't need him. And Arif, I want you to tell me why we do need him.
God. Why do I get that one?
Go for it.
Who's going first?
Raza.
I think you do not need John Cena because you can see with his corporate storyline it's working really well. It just shows you that other guys are able to step up to the plate. John Cena is not the only solid face of the company. I think Daniel Bryan gets a better reaction than John Cena. You get more people involved. With John Cena, I don't think you would have got guys like Cody Rhodes, perhaps not the Big Show, perhaps Ziggler not getting involved in this as well. So I think it gives other guys an opportunity to elevate them.
If we look at the WWE like a business, which is exactly what it is, it's there to make money at the end of the day, John Cena is the cash cow for the business. If your cash cow isn't turning up, if your cash cow isn't able to be there, then you're not going to be making enough money. From a wrestling standpoint, John Cena has got a lot better since his feud with The Rock ended. His promos seem more relevant. His feuds with CM Punk, with Daniel Bryan over the past couple of years have been relevant. He's enjoyable to a degree. 5 Moves of Doom are okay. But he is trying a lot harder, and he's embraced the booze.
With Night of Champions coming up, I want Raza to tell me how SummerSlam will not be topped by this pay-per-view, and Arif, I want you to tell me how Night of Champions can top SummerSlam. Go for it.
God.
I think Night of Champions will not top SummerSlam because I think it's more predictable. With this corporate storyline, I don't think they're going to finish it so soon with Daniel Bryan holding the WWE Championship. With the World Heavyweight Championship, probably the only difference here because you don't know what way it's going to go. There's more hype for SummerSlam, so there's not enough hype for Night of Champions at the minute. So you can't say you're looking forward to Night of Champions over SummerSlam. There's no Cena, like you said, so...
So Night of Champions, hey?
Yep.
Everyone's excited for that, hey? Especially the tag team match with the primetime players against the Shield that I'm predicting. Because we'll get Titus O'Neil and Darren Young win the titles, that's fun. And Ziggler doing something with his shoes. And we may see a return from Hulk Hogan. That could happen. There's excitement. Mike Tenay.
Oh, I've been waiting for that buzzer. Now, finally, guys, WWE officials, we've seen them suddenly start bullying superstars in their storylines. Arif, I want you to tell me why that's a good thing, and Raza, I want you to tell me why that's a bad thing. Go.
Okay, so bullying itself, obviously everyone knows it's not on. It's not advocated by the WWE. It shouldn't be advocated in any sort of environment. Bullying is wrong. But as a storyline, it's no different to having bullying on a TV show, like Lost, or Heroes, or Coronation Street, or anything like that. There's no difference with it at all. At the end of the day, wrestling is sports entertainment. It shows real issues, real life storylines that could be...
In a sense, I agree with Arif, but I think you need to realise that a lot of children watch the WWE. Maybe they're not intelligent enough to see the difference between storylines in real life. If you're seeing someone like Ryback push someone around, they might opt to do the same because they've seen some respected person in the WWE do it. They might think they can do it in their own lives.
No baby's
going
to push me around.
No, but you bully me. Anyway, I was saying they might think it's acceptable to do it because they've seen it on TV. Millions of people have seen it on TV. So they might tend to do this exact same thing.
And guys, that is Beat the Buzzer. Nice answers.
If we can, move on. You guys may know this if you tuned into the football podcast a couple of days ago, but we do contribute to Give Me Sport. It's a website where you, football or general sport fans, can apply, submit an article, and if you are accepted, you can start publishing your own work, have your voice heard. We want to thank Give Me Sport for allowing us to do this, highlight their website and what they have to offer. And this is one of the articles I submitted a few hours ago, in fact. Something I want to touch on today. It's actually, I would say it's in the back of every fan's mind, and I want to talk about the Shield versus the Wyatt family. Two amazing stables. I won't go through the entire article. In fact, it should be up by the time this episode goes up as well. You can see all the articles at www.givemesport.com/Raza-Kazi. Now guys, there are just a couple of areas I think we should discuss, obviously in the hope we can all come to an agreement on who is better. Is that okay? Just 6 standard areas I think we should cover. And as a trio, I think we can discuss them and, we'll see who is better in our opinions. Is that fair? Guys, we should start with the entrances for both the Shield and the Wyatt family. Arif and Imran, I want to know what both of you think. Whose is better? Whose do you prefer?
Ooh, Shields. I think as soon as that music hits, you're in trouble. Yeah,
I agree. Imran?
I'm going to have to disagree with you there because for any superstar to come out the way that they do, Bray Wyatt does, I'm talking about, and his sheep, it's incredible. Nobody could pull it off but him. As soon as you hear that, we're coming, here, whatever it is, you get that sudden chill and you're excited to see him every time. And you know what? It's not a quick entrance. It's a long entrance, but you wait it out, you watch it.
The only reason people get excited is because they think it's The Undertaker.
Well,
but wouldn't you say...
The Undertaker could pull it off, and so can these. Nobody else can. Nobody else can walk in the dark like the way that these guys can.
Wouldn't you say when the Shield first started, they had that more element of surprise where they're going to come from?
Yeah.
Whereas the Wyatt family are always repetitive. They're going to have that lantern, they're going to come from the same place. Bray Wyatt's going to sit down, and Eric Rowan and Luke Harper are going to do the same thing. For me, I have to agree with Arif. I think the Shield, as soon as the music hits, those Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, those words are said, they're going to cause havoc.
Hotel, Indigo, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Exactly, you have these 3 imposing figures. Whereas I'd say the Wyatt family's entrance is good simply because of Bray Wyatt, but the Shield's entrance is good as a trio, which is what we're focusing on.
Yeah, as a trio, fair enough, but I think Bray Wyatt's just that one-of-a-kind thing.
So can we agree the Shield have a better entrance?
As a trio,
As a trio, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the members now individually. Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper up against Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Imran, what would you say? Which trio are better individually? Who is better?
I'm a massive fan of the Shield individually. I think individually they're great. You talk about Seth Rollins, who's been compared to CM Punk. Dean Ambrose, who's amazing on the mic. He's got this unique style in the ring. And Roman Reigns, who's got this incredible power, this incredible speed, and his actual moveset as well, that spear, the way he pulls it off is incredible. So I'm going to go with Shield all the way.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd probably agree. The only thing I'd say is you can't discount the Wyatt family because of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is by far the standout star in that group. But yeah, the Shield altogether, all three of them, make them good.
I think that's unanimous. I also agree. The Shield individually are a lot better. This one, the gimmick. Who has the better, more interesting or favourable gimmick?
Wyatt's.
Yep, Wyatt's.
That one's unanimous
Easy.
as well. So we can say safely at the minute 2-1 to the Shield. The impact that they have had so far. Both have done some good things. Can we agree on who has had a bigger impact so far?
It's difficult to gauge
The
because...
Shield's been around for a lot longer.
Exactly.
Okay, let's say, how long have the Wyatt family been on Raw now? Can we say a month, 2 months?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the Shield's first 2 months up against the Wyatt family's first 2 months.
Then it's got to be the Shield.
Yeah, but the Shield was a target for the whole WWE. They were put in that position, but Bray Wyatt just went for that one superstar, Kane.
Okay.
So
The buzzards.
Who is better on the microphone? Let's not look at it as, at the minute, I think we can say the Wyatt family are not as good as the Shield on the microphone, mainly because the Shield talk, whereas only Bray Wyatt talks. But let's pick out Bray Wyatt from the Wyatt family up against, we'll say Dean Ambrose is the best talker. Out of the two, who is better on the microphone? With Bray representing the Wyatts, Ambrose representing the Shield.
I think Bray Wyatt cuts a better promo on the topic. I think because of the ammunition he's got and the fact that he can just be plain weird, whereas Ambrose has to have a lot of more structure to it. That's my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I'm a massive fan of Ambrose because it's the way he speaks. He's got that weirdness about him. He's got that craziness about him. And you know what? It suits him. He can actually pull it off. Okay, Bray Wyatt's incredible on the mic as well for his gimmick.
Yeah.
I think Dean Ambrose is the one guy that could actually talk just directly on that topic and yet have his own unique twist to it.
Okay, if we take all these points into consideration, just these 6 areas, based on what we have discussed, can we all agree at the minute the Shield are a better group?
They're on the decline, but right now they are.
Right now, Imran, will you agree with that?
They're a bit of tools, but yeah, I would have to say yeah.
Okay, and remember guys, we want to hear your thoughts too. Do you agree or disagree with our verdict? We think at the minute the Shield are better than the Wyatt family. Please let us know in the comments. Remember, you can check out the full article. Visit www.givemesport.com/Raza-Kazi, or if you want to apply, www.givemesport.com. Follow the instructions on screen to begin the applying procedure.
Right guys, and we're going to move on swiftly to our next segment. Now I'm going to question you 2. I've got 10 questions, and whatever word you associate with that question, just say it. And at the end, I want the fans to email us, to get in touch with us, and leave comments about what they think and what their opinions are on what you guys just said. Yeah? Are you ready for that? Now, guys, Arif's gone, and Raza, you've got 1 minute to answer the 10 quick questions. And then after that, I'm going to bring back Arif, and I'm going to hear what he says. Are you ready for this?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Right. Tell me when to go.
Go.
Your dream WWE return.
Dream WWE return, I would like from the dead Eddie Guerrero.
What's best for business?
What's best for business is giving Daniel Bryan the WWE Championship.
When's Dolph Ziggler's next major title win?
After WrestleMania.
Best CM Punk match?
I've seen one against Daniel Bryan.
Right, worst attire in WWE?
Fandango.
What do you think of Randy Orton?
I think he's good. A bit stale now, but good.
Right, worst WrestleMania match?
Worst WrestleMania match, or these Divas matches that you have, they just throw them on. Any Diva match.
Right, superstar to watch this year.
Damien Sandow.
Most underrated superstar.
Damien Sandow.
When will Big Show retire?
4 years.
And that is all 10 questions. You're doing pretty well.
Yep.
Right, let me bring back Arif. And he is... Yeah, he's here now. Arif.
I'm back.
You got 1 minute to answer the 10 questions, the short questions.
I'm ready.
What comes into your head, right? You ready?
I'm ready.
10 minutes to go.
Let's go.
Dream WWE return.
Sting.
What's best for business?
Daniel Bryan versus John Cena versus Randy Orton.
Dolph Ziggler's next major title win.
World title.
Best CM Punk match.
CM Punk versus Kofi Kingston.
Worst attire in WWE.
Kofi Kingston.
What do you think of Randy Orton?
He's alright. I don't like his beard.
What's the worst WrestleMania match?
And he poops in bags. Worst WrestleMania match. The Gobbledygooker versus Team Hell No.
Superstar to watch this year.
Evan Bourne.
Most underrated superstar.
Evan Bourne.
When will Big Show retire?
When he fights Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash.
Guys, that's it.
Big sexy.
You know what? I got some pretty good answers from you both. Got a bit weird ones from Arif. Expected. But now I want the fans to email us in and tell us what they think of each of the questions. If they agree with us, disagree with you, probably will.
It's hard to disagree with greatness.
Probably will. But I want to know your opinions on how would you answer them. Well, guys and girls, this is all we have time for here today in our very first WWE podcast. What do you think?
Thank you for listening.
Yep, great fun. Hopefully we can keep some good content coming out every week.
Also, please do download our podcast off iTunes, which should be up pretty soon, as soon as it's Apple approved. And please check out the descriptions below if you're on YouTube, on the sidebar if you're on Podomatic.
Podomatic.
Yep, Podomatic. And remember, we'll be here every single week. We'll be here with the wrestling podcast, football podcast, and the entertainment podcast. So please do recommend us to anybody that you know who will enjoy what we have to offer. It's a bye from me.
It's a bye from me, guys.
That is to see you later from me. Take care, guys.
We're the Main Event Podcast and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Thanks.